All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into May 29th, 2019, and you guys are going to want to be there tomorrow morning. The volatility is back. Now, we had a big move today. We closed down 237 points on the Dow, but the key, we opened at one point, we were up about 120, so it's about a 350, 400-point swing round trip. But I have some keys we're going to talk about for tomorrow. You know, a lot of things could happen, and where we play off from here is very important. The fact that we broke that lowest close that we had the other week, we're kind of testing here again, that 279.75. It's going to be very important. And again, if this does slip and get bad from here, if we get any negative developments, it is going to bring back some volatility. But all of this stuff we've been watching is coming into play. So I have a lot of plays we have to watch for, even some inverses like Facebook. We're going to go over some of the options. I'll go over some of the plays I made today, what will even be hot tomorrow, and then some of the main stuff we've already talked about, like rates and all that. But even to start off, I want to start with the rates. This has gotten really bad. The yield curve is further inverted. Literally, it's going down even more right now. We're at 2.6 on the 30-year. This is bad. This is when you guys see the news. This is what they're saying when they're saying the bond market is warning something. So this isn't good. And again, I've said this in the videos last week. If it stays like this, this is where it gets really bad, because here's the kicker. You guys could go look this up. The relationship between rates and now volatility. If these stay up for a long time or they stay down here, we could see an influx of volatility come into the market. So that's going to be probably the most important thing. It's related even to the TLT play. That is going to be an important one to watch. We're already in those plays and they're starting to make moves. And again, be careful with options. The weeklies are a shorter week. If volatility comes back, this is what I remember I said it a few weeks ago. If you have June puts, you're still probably down, but they're at least doing, you're still in the game. And if we get a big move, you can make some money back. But again, get some time, because if you're going on this short week, you have to be very, very careful. You don't want to get, don't get caught without it. But let's talk about the keys for tomorrow. And actually, before I get into that, make sure you guys drop a like on the video. But most importantly, you need to post your watch list below. We're going to go over that pre-market, and we're live 30 minutes before open. YouTube.com/the stock market. It is pinned in the comments. Here are your keys for tomorrow. Volatility in the morning or no volatility. So why do I say that? Because two things are pretty much going to happen. I didn't like this today. I wanted to see a bigger close, or break through the lows, but we didn't see that. But the fact we dropped there, here's after hours, it's still dribbled down there. It's not looking too hot. That being said, keep your eyes out for this and how it moves, because if it did break below, I would have expected a lot of volatility. But now kind of there, it puts some confusion, and it leads me to pretty much decide if there's volatility in the morning or not. If there is volatility, look for a big move down. Again, even a couple hundred points right off the open. Go down to a support level and then an irrational move up. And from that bounce, it'll either close, somewhat either higher or even kind of at a lower level, or starts up irrationally high. We get some level of gap up or even negative news, and the market is actually up. And again, like I said, if the market does have a lot of jawboning, the market might not move. We've said this earlier. We said, again, the market is at a very crucial point where either the market is going to force some clarity with what's going on, or it's going to wait for clarity, and it looks like it's forcing that. So that being said, if we get news in the morning, the market might not move as much, because that's what we've talked about in the other watch lists, and have even saw that the market does not move on the days that we've had all these news events. So keep your guys' eyes out for that. That's the first part of it. But if it starts up irrationally high, I'd expect it to sell off to just about support, or even under that key support that we broke, that 280 level, or even 279. So there's that. But now if we get no volatility, expect a down day like today, almost even a repeat or a cuck fest like Thursday. If you guys remember, where we get something where literally this would be more in line of volatility. I think this is more what I'm looking for. I meant Friday or even Wednesday. Something like this could happen. And again, a lot of bad news this day, no news, the market drops. So keep your eyes out for this. We are at a crucial point. You guys are going to want to be there. You're not going to want to miss it. If you do, you better have your stream insurance, the stream alerts. And actually, that even reminds me. So this is going to be a play for tomorrow. And why, even if there is volatility, why I think this, because simply the market likes to rotate towards some of these crappier stocks, or even stocks with momentum, simply because if there's other volatility, we know and could confirm what's going on here solely. I made a video on this earlier today. I posted it. I'm in it at 50 shares. I'm going to swing it, and you guys can see here even on the stream alerts. at like 8:10. So like right around here, and we bought it. It came in. I put the alert pretty much a minute after I got it. We bought the 50 shares. So again, even if you bought it right when the alert came out, you had that 3 or 4 minute window, and then it went up. Where is it on the Tasty account? Here it is. We bought 10, at 8:09, we bought 50 shares at 10.90. I go over the strategy and the explanation, but why I'm bringing this up, it's going to be one to watch. They had the FDA approval. It's going to look good, but again, it hit here at 21.22. My plan is to take free shares of this, but I might even let some of it ride. So that's what I'm saying. Make sure you guys are there tomorrow, and if you are going to miss it, I will post when I'm selling it out on the stream alerts. Again, too, if you're on the stream, you're going to watch it. I did the trade live on this account, so you guys actually, if you go through the live video from today, youtube.com/thestockmarket, you could go through and watch me make this play live. We explain it. We talk about it. So this is going to be an interesting one, though. It has FDA approval, and again, just in the nature, low float, it's isolated from the market with kind of what's going on. It has its own positive good news. Again, the low float is another beneficial thing. I'm going to keep eye out for this. So I'm going to swing this tomorrow. If depending on where it opens, I will look to either take profits early in the morning. Again, I'll keep you updated, but if the volume is looking good and things are more in favor, if I open up and I have a big enough cushion and it drops a little, I'm probably going to let it ride. I probably won't make my decision till probably the first 30 minutes or hour. Again, all that will be dependent on where it's at pre-market. We don't know, but it's looking solid so far, even with the volume. So that's going to be a good one. So watch those. And I have specific plays. We'll go over the plays that I made today. I only made a few plays. And again, the option pricing, this is what I was saying with both the week, with the short week, but more so, the options are very weird. The VIX isn't up as much as it should be. It gets with those little gap up and moves. It's not setting up a good climate, and the option prices are not attractive until we know what's going on. So be very careful and scale in and go small. And even then, even though we say keep your hand in the cookie jar, don't get your hand stuck in the cookie jar. And that has been an issue that we've seen. I lost a little bit more than expected on the UVXYs, but I'm seeing it's because I'm letting too much of that profit sit there. But now, even if you wanted to play the options, it was very hard to make moves today. So fortunately, we made some plays, but we're going to watch out there. But getting to what's going to happen tomorrow and what we need to look at individually, again, post your guys' watch list below. I'm going to watch Facebook. It had a random pop here at the morning. Google was leading earlier today, but with Facebook popping like that, especially when the market's down on that volume and even holding up in the midst of all this that's going on, it's going to be important. I grabbed the call. I'm going to keep my eyes out for this, so we'll see whatever the news is. If you guys have any updates, post that below. But it's going to be a good one to watch. I'd watch them, and I'd even watch them along with Amazon and the rest of FANG. But I made a play on this. We'll go over the play, but these guys are leaders, so you have to understand that tech really did lead. Amazon still closed above 1% today. That's still very, very good. So watching these guys, these could even be the leaders and laggers that we want to watch tomorrow in the market. Keep your eye out for that. I like Boeing. Again, it did this one. It was operating kind of like Qualcomm, and again, Qualcomm is another play I'm going to like, but I'm still on the put side for this. The puts got destroyed, and I didn't average down just yet. I wanted to wait, and I want to wait till a day like tomorrow or even Wednesday. But as you see, Boeing, again, a lot of people get confused, and if you try to day trade it and hit it quickly, it's not going to be there for you. Even when I'm playing the put side, I'm going to get time. I'm going to wait for opportunities, get more dates, and go after it because, again, as you see with Boeing, it'll do its own thing until shit really matters. A lot of people say, oh, it's a protected stock. It's a protected stock. Even Apple, it's the same thing. Self-interest. When shit really hits the fan, it could keep up the act for a little bit, but the minute the pressure comes on, they will eventually go down, and then it adds to whatever they have next. They just kind of wait. Think of it more instead of a protected stock, it's a pressure release valve. Boeing has all of this crap with it. It's not going to just dump the stock for no reason. They know it needs to go down. They're whoever you want to assume. But the minute the bad news really comes out and there's now pressure from the market to bring the market, they release that pressure valve and they let all the bad news and everything price in with the market. And that way they take it on the head once instead of repeatedly day after day, week after week, and have to respond to how investors are doing it. Not every company is Elon Musk, my friends. So watch out for them. Same thing applies with Apple, and they're going to be a good one. They were pretty much paralyzed today. Some people said tap the screen to see if they work, but I like it a lot. I love this play. I love how it closed here at the close again. We saw a lot of crazy moves, so keep your eye out for that. That even reminds me, UNH and healthcare. These, again, shit hit the fan. It started to really go down. These plays moved down a lot, so these will be both now further continuations down if healthcare really starts to slip, because we've seen kind of what they've done, and it could set up another whole bad move on it. But also some pops up and down. But again, we have to see what the market throws at us and if it even gives us that climate. But watch out for that. I'm going to like UNH. Next, TLT. We've talked about this. I have a play. The options are good, and I had some froggy options. They're starting to, they went up a little bit, not as much. But again, if this comes down, I'm going to look to set up a play, or even in a couple days, but I'm still holding that play. I like it. Then I like Remix, REMX. This is the rare earth materials. We do keep getting hints from China that they're going to put tariffs on it, and it's starting to go up. You saw the first run up. This killed the premium, so be careful with it. We saw it make crazy moves, but if we do start to see that go crazy out of nowhere, you see other China news, I would take a good look at it. Even beyond that, though, I remembered we have China news. The Treasury Department, in their review of trade and currency and all that, they didn't label China a currency manipulator, which is, you would think they'd put that pressure on. They did it with Vietnam, but they didn't do that here. So that could be a positive sign of not trying to ease the tensions, but you might see that come up at a later day. But watch out for that. Watch those plays. And again, those are even important to the trade, the economy. That's why I have Caterpillar up. This is another one of those plays like the Apple tomorrow. You guys got to watch that. And a lot of people even ask me, what do you do during a flash crash, or what do you do if the market's going down? How do you manage these positions? You guys got to take profit constantly, control how much you're putting out on the expenditures, and this is why I'm giving you, know what stocks to watch, know really when to panic and when not, or not even panic, but when to act. And that is the issue. Just like the pops at close and everything, you have to be careful to make sure you do not get caught up playing these moves just because in your mind you think everything is going crazy, but just because things are moving in tandem, you want to know, wait, is this a big move or not? That's why these stocks like Apple, Caterpillar, when you start to see them give way, that could start to tell you something, and you really get to get more information from there. But watch them. And lastly, I think as far as important, again, Qualcomm falls into that stage. I still have puts on them and Boeing. I like that play. I want to watch to see how this develops. They, again, just related to the chip makers and all that, that even reminds me, AMD. See, they had positive news from their chip today that they announced. The stock went up 10% at one point. Very good move. Watch this. I don't necessarily know about getting puts. It could do what Roku did. Roku went up a lot. The market was very volatile. It still did its thing and priced it in. You guys even remember Qualcomm the day after. So I'm not saying puts on this, but I'm not saying calls. If there is a big move and we start, here's the key. If AMD moves distinctive from the market, at one point you even see bigger candles and it breaks and does its own thing, then we can make a move on it. Otherwise, watch to see if it comes down, but give it a few days before going after it. And then lastly, I guess that even says, Roku. They dropped a lot today, 7-8%. So as you see, they're giving back a lot of it. We talked about even selling premium on them, but they're going to be good. So I like those. Now, as far as more of my favorite plays and options, let's get to the chain. I like Apple, but let's see what even the plays I made today. So this is how the stream alerts looks. As you see, I was watching at open, Tesla, Roku, and Fedex. And then right off the bat, I take a KHC. So Kraft, again, they are going to report. I'm going to play. I'm already up 100% on that play. I got the Junes, and I said I spent less than 40 cents. So that's what's crazy. At the time when I did that, I think it was right here at the 28.50s. I got these less than around 40. I think it was right here around 29 cents, and they just went crazy. So they're at 85 bucks now. They have the earnings. I will probably want to flip it. I like the fact that there's time. The thing why I don't want to hold too much into earnings is the fact they already dropped a lot from the top. However, the fact that they're selling out, and this is, again, this is showing that the earnings and the issues from last earnings are still factoring over. The market's not liking that, but I might even sell premium and turn this to a ghetto spread if I become up on this a lot more. So watch Kraft. That's going to be a good one. Tesla moved yesterday too, and we're going to watch that. This one we're pushing into the wall. You remember, I've called it out almost every time on the options. I usually find it when it happens. We just got to wait for the move. So surprisingly, with 2 days decayed off the weeklies and now it not moving too much, this is good. It's at an interesting spot, so keep your eyes out for that. But lastly, I'll go to the trade. You guys see I did at Amazon. But I want to go to Fedex. This is the other trade I made today. And then the last trade I made after that was the calls and then the solely. But I like how it's moving here. It moved a lot. It dropped more and kind of gave back and kind of level with the market. But it wants to lead the way. It already is leading the way. And it's kind of like Kraft too, what I'm saying with earnings. If they start to come back down to these levels and selling off below there, that is not a good sign. So watch out for Fedex. But at the same time too, this is a good one, shorter and longer term. Again, be careful with the weeklies, but It's a slower mover, kind of like McDonald's, so the options could get really cheap, and then out of nowhere, they will rock it up. So watch out for that. And then lastly, the trade you guys saw, the Amazon selling premium. So I sold a call July. I collected $1,000 of premium. So pretty much we had that lesson. If you guys go to the main channel, youtube.com/the stock market, it was a few days ago. We went over the account history on this account, and this account is surprisingly over a 90% success rate. If you don't believe me, you could go look through the history on there. However, the biggest key to take away from this is what happened. I sold pretty much, instead of buying a contract, I shorted it. So if Amazon goes down, I get to collect the premium, or I already collected $1,000, and I'm gonna buy it back. And that's my plan. I'm really only looking for like $300-400 bucks. If there is any move, or this week even stalls out, you could expect 20 or 30% of that premium to dissipate. So we're gonna take a look there, see what happens with that. I like that play. Those are the ones I have. We're going to come in tomorrow. It's going to be very exciting. Again, make sure you guys are there. Be smart. Don't forget about the contracts that are expiring soon, the short week, but more so, understand the opportunities. Do not force anything. Guess what? If you guys get any FOMO, you get over emotional, you try to force something in this marketplace, the market is going to rob you. You have to pick and choose. The pricing on options are pretty scary right now, again, because they are just so all over the place considering everything we have going on. So be smart, you guys. We're going to be on stream to help you guys out. I'm ready. I hope you are. Get your watch list. Let's go.